Hey, Nicole here with Roots to Rise. Today we're going to be going through a full body stretch, so similar to the other movement combinations that we've done, but this one we're going to be adding in something called PNF, and that's where we're contracting the muscles in order to help it release a little bit better. So we're going to start, as always, with our hip rocks. So we're just going to rock those knees side to side. Feel where you have any tension or a bit more opportunity to stretch. So my left side's feeling a little bit tighter, a little bit more opportunity there. So I'm going to start on that side. So we're going to start with our glutes. So what we're going to do is place our right foot flat on the ground and our left foot is going to come over top. So this is often referred to as the pretzel or the figure 4 stretch. So you're going to bring that leg in, so you can grab behind your leg. You can grab over top of your shin. If you're quite tight through the hips and this is enough for you, or you're tight through the glutes, then that's no problem. You can easily do this still. So what we're going to do here, if this feels like a really nice stretch, we're just going to breathe through it for a couple breaths. All right, so on our next inhale, I want you to push your right leg away. So you're pushing it into your hands, and then you're going to exhale and pull it in tighter. So inhale, push, exhale, release. Inhale, push, exhale, release. So you're pushing both your right and your left leg into your hands. So you're kind of pushing that left leg into that right to create that muscle contraction. Good. And I can feel my range picking up here. And one more on this side. Beautiful. So we're going to release our right leg, hold your left, bring it over to the side, and drag it around, just to help get that glute and low back a little bit more. So we're going to go through that right side now. So bringing it up. Ooh, even though my left back was a little bit tighter, my right glute is certainly tighter here. So we're going to inhale, exhale. So on our next inhale, we're going to push those legs against our hands. And exhale, pull it in tight. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull. So if you can't reach your legs, but down here is a little bit too easy, grab yourself a towel or anything to hold around your leg here, and you just secure your leg from here, and then you push and pull against that. It's a little bit more arms, but you push and pull against whatever mechanism you're using to help you, whether it's your hands, a towel, pair of pants. Good, last one. Great. So we're going to drop that left leg, bring the right leg over, and then scoop it around. So we're going to come onto our side, so whatever side you just kind of will naturally roll onto. So you can bend your bottom leg so you feel a little bit more stable. So I'm grabbing my top leg, which is my right leg, and I'm going to bring my knee back so it is in line with my hips. So listen to your knees here. If this bothers your knees, again, grab yourself a band, towel, whatever. So your leg, if it needs to be out a little bit more, that's fine. Not everyone can grab their ankle, and that's a goal that we'll want to get towards. So whatever position you're in, you're just going to hold that stretch there. Now we're going to inhale, exhale, kick that leg away, and then inhale, bring it in tighter. Now if your heel's already touching your glutes, bring your knee back a little bit further, and you'll feel that go closer towards the knee. We're just getting into the longer fibers here. So we're going to inhale, push through the ankle, exhale, pull it in nice and tight. Inhale, push, exhale in. Push, and in. Awesome. So this is kind of a bonus hip flexor stretch as well. So we're going to roll onto the other side. So I'll do this with my back facing you so you can see from that end. So you're going to I've grabbed my left leg now. My knee is in line with my hips. Again, as long as that's comfortable for your knees and your hips. And we're just going to hold that stretch for a few moments. And then we're going to push and pull it back in. Remember, if your heel touches your glute, then bring that knee back a bit. We're going to push and pull it in. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull. Inhale, push. Exhale, pull. Lovely. Release that leg. We're going to roll onto all fours. So you're going to come up into this quadruped position, and we're just going to rock those hips side to side a few times. So this is similar to those hip rocks when we're on the ground. And we're just going to get a quick little warm up into those hips and sides before we get into those in a moment. Wonderful. So we're going to look towards our same hip and back, and then we're going to shift our hips to the right, look towards the left hip, bring it back, shift hips to the left, look towards the right hip, and we'll do one more on the other side. Lovely. Okay, so we're going to go into a hamstring rock. So I'm just going to grab my pillow. You can grab a pillow. If your floor is comfortable enough, then you won't need anything. Sweaters work, just anything for a little bit of cushion. So I like to have my toes placed on the floor. You can certainly have your foot flat, whatever is comfortable for you. I just like this for stability. So what we're going to do, it's going to be a hamstring hip rock. So we're going to lean forward so we feel that stretch in through that hip. We're making sure that that pelvis is forward. We don't want it arched back. So bring it forward, and then we're going to rock back. Bring it forward and rock back. So you might only be able to get to here. Your hamstrings might be quite tight. No problem. Inhale forward, exhale back. What you really want to make sure with this is those hips stay level. You don't want to drop kind of to one side. So inhale forward, exhale back. Again, normally my range is not this good with it. So work within your range. So if you're right here, no problem. If your rocks are very short in their range, no problem. Just make sure you're breathing through it. So we get that nice hip flexor and then back. So now we're going to add the arms. Bring that arm up and reach towards your opposite toe. Bring it up and then reach towards your opposite toe. We'll do one more here and then opposite toe. Back to neutral. Lovely. So I'll do this one facing you. So my right foot is now forward. So I like to have it in kind of that proposal kneeling position, and then I adjust as feels comfortable for me to get that stretch. So we're going to lean into it and then exhale back. Oh, see, this leg's tighter, so I don't have as much range here. So this is a hinge in through the hips. So we're pushing those hips back, not curling through our upper body. So stretching doesn't need to be static. Moving through, our muscles love motion, so moving through the stretches to get that motion is what they love and they kind of thrive on. Just think about when you do a warm-up for a workout, or if you've been sitting for a while and you just kind of like march, walk your legs, you loosen up as your blood gets going, as your muscles get warm. So it's the same with stretching, these kind of dynamic stretches and movements. All right, so I've got a lot more range out of my hamstring here. So now I'm going to reach up. So we've got that nice long lateral and anterior line, and then reach. So we're getting that sling, that posterior sling coming right up the leg, across the back and down the arm. Up Good, and we'll do one more here. Beautiful. So while we're kneeling here, we're going to take our legs. I don't believe I'll need this. So we're going to come into it. You can sit and then we'll come back up to kneeling. So your legs are going to be kind of 45, 45. So you want, I have my left foot right near my right knee. So we're going to get into those adductors and through those hips. So you're going to use your core, brace your core, and you're going to bring yourself up. So if this is fine and you start from this position, no problem. But you can hinge back and forward, squeezing through your glutes to get into that hip flexor. We're going to do just 2 more on this side. And back. Good. So this is getting in through the adductors, it's getting in through the hips. So those adductors are big culprits in hip tension, ultimately low back tension. All right, so again, you don't have to start seated, but you can brace your core and bring yourself up, squeezing through your glutes, hinge back and up. You can hinge all the way to the floor, should you wish. Awesome. Great. All right, so we're going to come up to standing. So we're going to get a little bit more into those adductors, and then we're going to go to a wall, a door frame, a post, whatever you wish to open up through the pecs. So we're going to come into a lateral lunge here. So my left leg is straight, my hips are coming back, my knee is not coming forward, okay? So hips are coming back and then up. We're going to stay going to the right side or whatever side you started on and up. Notice that my back is nice and straight. I'm not curled over into the position. So while you're in this position, if it feels comfortable, you can bring your foot up and down, and it just gets the different fibers of the adductors. Or you can just leave it right there, whatever you like. So what we're going to do, we're going to come into this stretch. I want you to push your left foot into the ground so you'll feel it fire right down your leg, and then release, and then dive a little bit deeper. Now push, release slightly, and then dive. Push that left foot in, release slightly, and then dive. Beautiful. We'll come to the other side. My hip's been wanting to get a little bit of a pop in for a bit now. I thought it was about to. Good. So you'll notice this side's a little bit tighter. At least on me. I'm not sure how it feels for you. Lovely. So remember, you have that foot arc. Should you wish, I'm going to leave it, but I am going to add in my PNF now. So I'm going to push that right foot in, release my body up slightly, and then dive in. You don't want this to be a very deep stretch, just a comfortable one. Now push that foot in, release slightly, and then dive. Push, release slightly, dive. Last one, push, release slightly, and dive. So you should feel, we'll go one on each side. Nice. You should feel like you have a little bit more range in through those adductors. All right, so we've got pecs and then neck, and we should be good to go. So you're going to go to a door frame, corner of a wall, but you want to make sure that you are, that your elbow is going to be connected to a wall and stable there. So I'm going to show you from this position first. So we're going to have our left arm on the wall, our right foot will be forward, and that will just give us a little bit more stability. Elbow will be down at about chest height, and we're just going to inhale, exhale into it. Inhale, exhale into it. We'll work on bringing that arm higher, but we're going to start here and we're going to add in PNF. So elbows down. We're going to inhale, exhale into it. Again, don't overstretch, just get into a comfortable stretch. So exhale into the stretch. Inhale back, exhale into the stretch. Now hold this stretch here. If this feels good, great, you can stay here. If it feels like you need a bit more of a release, I want you to push your elbow and forearm into the door frame. So you're pushing away, or I guess pushing forward, and then you're going to release that pressure and lean forward. You should feel that a little bit deeper. Good, so push again. So you're trying to bring your arm forward and release. Good, bring that arm a little bit higher, maybe just below shoulder height, and lean into it and back. You may not feel like you need PNF. PNF is a great way to help gain more range should you want that. So I'm going to push and then release, dive into it a bit more. Getting a really beautiful calf stretch while I'm doing this as well. And release. Good, now I'm going to take one more and I'm going to bring that elbow higher than my shoulder. If this is comfortable for you, if there's any pinching or tingling in the finger that's nervy, just don't do this move. Good. Now push and release. Push and release. Push and release. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to go into the right side. My left arm feels very long right now. So right arm comes onto the wall, left foot comes forward. Remember, elbow is about chest height to start, so we're going to inhale, exhale forward. So if you keep that back heel placed on the ground, you're going to get a bonus calf stretch in here. Make sure that's not going to take away from the pecs, but it is a nice little bonus. So I'm going to get into that gentle stretch. Now I'm going to push my arm. So again, I'm trying to close it and release. Push and release. So remember, when you release, you want to dive into it a little bit more. Good. I'm going to bring that elbow up just a bit. So I'm going to feel that stretch into the pec. It's going to feel a little bit higher in the chest now. So we're going to add that PNF. So I'm going to push my arm, so trying to close it so those pec muscles are working now. Then I'm going to release and dive into it. So I'm going to push and release into it. Beautiful. I'm going to come a little bit higher. Good. So what's important with this is try not to look down while you're doing it. And then keep those eyes straight. All right, so push and release. Push and release. Last one, push and release. Beautiful. Step away from the wall. Good. I'm just going to roll those shoulders. We're going to get into the neck now. Working a little bit different, a different way of strengthening and releasing through the neck muscles. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start kind of rocking just gently side to side. Make sure you're not slouching with this. Make sure that that pelvis is in a nice neutral position and those shoulders are back, so we can make sure we're able to stretch that neck and all of its muscles effectively and in its best form. Alright, so we're going to bring our right ear towards our right shoulder. We're going to bring our left arm behind our back. Okay, so we're going to start to get into those traps. So really drop that shoulder down. We're going to bring our right hand on top of our head very gently. If this is enough of a stretch for you, then this is your end game. Otherwise, what we can do when we feel this stretch is inhale, push our head into our hand, exhale and release. Inhale, push up, exhale, release. Inhale, push up, exhale, release. Good, we're going to bring that nose towards the armpit. So our hand's going to come more to the back of our head, and we're going to gently push down, and then we're going to push up into our hands and release. Bring that nose towards that armpit, push up and release. Last one, push up and release. Good, so roll your head forward, and we'll come to the other side. So right arm goes behind your back, left arm comes onto your head ever so gently. We're just going to feel that stretch. Really try and create that space through the neck here, so keep that shoulder dropping down. You can add like that little extra force and muscle in through there. Good, so we're gonna push up with our heads and exhale, release. Inhale, push up, exhale, release. Inhale, push up, exhale, release. Now bring your nose towards your armpit. Again, if your neck is tight and this feels like enough, great. If you need to remove your hand from behind your back and just let it dangle at your side, also great. So we're gonna push up into our hand and then release. Bring that nose towards that armpit. Push up and then release. Push up and then release. Last one, push up and then release. So we're gonna bring that head, just rock it side to side a couple times. Beautiful. So the last one we're going to do is a little bit of neck activation. So this can actually quite help relieve some neck tension. So what's important with this is you don't want your head forward. You want to make sure you bring it back. It's not double chin back. It's just back and a little bit more in line. So you'll get a little bit of a double chin, but nothing wild. So you just want to make sure those ears are over top of your shoulders. Everything's matched the whole way down. So what we're going to do is we're going to place our hands just below our temples. And what I want you to do is I want you to push your head into your right fingers and push your head into your left. Do that 2 more times on each side. So you're just shifting the pressure from side to side. You should feel it go down your neck. Beautiful. So now I want you to bring it down towards your jaw. Same thing. Push and left. Right, left, right, one more, left. Good, fingers to your forehead. So we're going to push forward and release. Push forward and release. Push forward and release. So your head's not even really moving while you're doing this. You're just creating that energy. Coming onto our chin. So we're going to try and lift our chin up to the ceiling. So we're going to push up and release. Up, release. Last one. And release. All right, now we're coming to the sides of our head. So you can use your hands or your fingers. But you're going to push to the right, release. Push to the left. Push to the right. Push to the left. Last one each side. And last one. Beautiful. So your neck should feel a little bit more sturdy, a little bit stronger in through there, especially now that we've set it back and started to like strengthen it a bit in that area. Get those muscles awake and ready to hold your head up a little bit in a little bit more of an easier position for your spine. So there's your full body stretch using that PNF. So if you're finding that you're a little bit stickier in certain joints or muscle groups, if you feel like you have a little bit more opportunity to lengthen in through there, add in some PNF. So you're just going to contract that muscle. So make it work and then release. So always inhale and exhale. You want to exhale into that stretch. When we exhale, that's when we relax, right? So there's a quick full body. Hopefully you feel a little bit looser and a little bit more limber and balanced. So enjoy.